So, previous lecture we were discussing the mineral wealth of USA. Mineral wealth. So I discussed, yesterday I discussed this Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia and Pennsylvania. They are having the coal reserves. Then I discussed Great Lake region, that is north of Superior Lake, Vermilion, Mesabi, Cuna, Gogebic, Marquette, Menominee. Here iron ore is found. In south, in basically Alabama, iron ore is also found at Birmingham and Red Mountain. Then I discussed the coal deposits. Coal deposits are, copper deposits. Copper deposits are found along the western side between Canadian border and Mexico border. In north, in Montana near Booty. In Utah province, Bingham mine is there, largest copper mine of USA. And southeastern part of Arizona, near Tucson, you have Morenci, Casa Grande, Globe, these copper mines are there. So now we will further continue the same process. One more thing, regarding copper, very important aspect is the metallic content of copper is very less. It is just 2.5%. You might have heard about the ores of iron ore, magnetite, hematite, limonite and siderite. This siderite is the most inferior ore of iron. Siderite also happens to be the ore of copper. From siderite usually copper is obtained. And the metallic content of copper ore is just 2.5%. Here there is a place in Superior Lake, inside Superior Lake, there is a peninsula, protruding peninsula. This peninsula is known as Keweenaw Peninsula. Here, due to volcanic activity, in ancient time, due to volcanic activity, we find copper ores where the copper metallic content is 97%. This is the only part in the world, this Keweenaw Peninsula. This is Superior Lake. Inside this protruding landmass is known as Keweenaw Peninsula. Here, the metallic content of copper is 97%, highest in the world. This is because of ancient volcanic activity. Due to ancient volcanic activity, Keweenaw Peninsula metallic content of copper is 97. Now, after this, we were supposed to discuss oil and gas. Oil and gas reserves of USA. See, you are all might be aware that USA is the world's largest producer of shale gas. You might have heard about natural gas. You might also heard about coal bed methane. One is natural gas, second is shale gas, third is coal bed methane. All three are same. All are methane. Now, oil and gas, they are found above shale rock. They are found above shale rock in dome structure. This is shale rock, above which oil is found usually, and at the top natural gas is found. This we call as natural gas. That is methane. The same natural gas which is trapped in shale rock below the oil, the same natural gas which gets trapped in the shale rock over which oil is held, this same natural gas is known as shale gas. Although China has the largest deposits, followed by Argentina and then USA, but it requires high technology to exploit the shale gas. So China and Argentina are not having that technology. So USA is the largest producer of shale gas. Now, coal bed methane, coal is found in the form of layers known as coal seams, layers. In these layers, the same methane is trapped. The same natural gas is trapped in the seams of coal bed methane. Coal bed methane is the same methane gas when it is trapped in layers of coal. This is known as coal bed methane. It is also methane. So there is no difference. Coal bed methane, shale gas or natural gas, all are methane. The difference lies in their occurrence. They are found in shale rock, they are found in coal seams, and natural gas is found above oil. Now, USA is having 3 areas where oil is found in abundance. There are 3 regions in USA. First is Texas region, oil. oil deposits. Second is Gulf Coast region. And third is California region. Texas region account for almost 60% of production. Gulf Coast region account for 20% of production. California region accounts for 15% of production. Rest is accounted by other oil wells. Now these three are the major oil bearing regions of USA. Now let us demarcate them. First is Texas region. Texas region, here in northern Texas, if you see northern Texas, this region, this is Texas region. This is Texas region, which account for 60% of oil production. It includes northern part of Texas. This is Oklahoma. This is Kansas, and this is Arkansas. So Texas region, this accounts for 60% of oil production. It includes northern Texas, Oklahoma state, southern part of Kansas, and Arkansas. This is Texas region. Second is Gulf Coast region. This accounts for 20% of the oil production. This runs along the coastal areas, including southern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. This part, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi state, and Alabama. This is Gulf Coast region that account for 20% of oil production. In fact, if you see, the entire Gulf Coast is richly endowed with Gulf of Mexico. The coastal area of Gulf of Mexico is richly endowed with oil. If you continue southward towards Mexico, along the coastal eastern coast of Mexico, bordering Gulf of Mexico, you have three large oil fields: Tampico, Tuxpan, and Veracruz. We'll discuss in Mexico. So this entire Gulf Coast is richly endowed with, Gulf Coast means coast of Gulf of Mexico. This is Gulf of Mexico. It is richly endowed with oil. This is Gulf Coast region, and this oil obtained from this region is known as Western Texas Intermediate. It is slightly inferior to Brent crude oil, that is from North Sea. And the third region where oil is found is California region, 15% of oil production. Here it includes San Joaquin Valley, San Joaquin Valley, regions around Los Angeles. Second is regions around Los Angeles. These are two regions included in California region, San Joaquin Valley and regions around Los Angeles. Here very important to note that here this Wyoming province is very much known for gas deposits, gas reserves. Wyoming, the same Wyoming province having Yellowstone National Park. This is Colorado. This is Wyoming. Sorry, this is Colorado. This is North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska. This is Wyoming, I think. So this is Nevada, Utah. This is Nebraska. This is Wyoming. See, this is Wyoming province. This is Wyoming. So Wyoming province is famous for gas deposits. Now, sorry, not this. Montana, Idaho. This province is Wyoming, not this one. This is Wyoming. This is Nebraska, Kansas. Yes, this is Wyoming province, having largest deposits of gas. Now, apart from this, USA also possesses other deposits like gold. Large deposits of gold are found along the northern foothills of Sierra Nevada mountain. Gold. Large deposits are found along the northern foothills of Sierra Nevada mountain range. Colorado Plateau itself is very famous for gold, silver, copper, and nickel mining. And then there's Black Hills in the southwestern part of South Dakota. This is North Dakota, this is South Dakota. These are Black Hills. Famous here, the large one at one point of time, Homestake mine was there, which was the single largest mine of USA at one point of time. Single largest mine, Homestake. Now it is not a major producer, but still it is a producer of gold. At one point of time, this Homestake mine in Black Hills in the southwestern part of South Dakota was the largest gold mine in USA. Now, if you see this other deposits like, if you come, this is Colorado. In Colorado, there's a city, Colorado. In Colorado province, there's a city, Colorado. Colorado is also a province, Colorado is also a city, and Colorado is also name of a river. Here, there's a mine of molybdenum. 50% of world's molybdenum deposits are found in this mine, and the name of the mine is Climax Mine. Climax Mine of Colorado account for 50% of global deposits of molybdenum. So this was about the important mineral reserves of this USA. That is iron, coal, copper, gas, oil, molybdenum. Now let us come on to agriculture. I told you there are various agricultural belts in the central plains which are very important. So I will draw those belts and you also draw simultaneous with me. So let us come on to agriculture. In USA, wheat is a very important agricultural product, and there are two wheat belts. One is spring wheat belt, second is winter wheat belt. Usually wheat is a crop of winters in India, but in USA, northern part, it's extremely cold during winters. So in northern USA, wheat is grown during summer, spring season. And in winters, wheat is grown in the southern part. So first is spring wheat belt, where wheat is grown in spring season, because winters in the northern part are very cold. This belt includes these states: Minnesota, North Dakota and South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, northern part of Idaho, Washington and Oregon. This is spring wheat belt. It includes these states: Washington state, Oregon, northern part of Idaho, where Columbia Plateau is located, Montana, North Dakota, and this is South Dakota, and this is Minnesota. Minnesota. This forms the spring wheat belt of USA. Winter wheat belt lies in the southern part, and winter wheat belt is separate from spring wheat belt by this Nebraska. Nebraska state just below South Dakota. It separates spring wheat belt of USA from winter wheat belt. If you see winter wheat belt, it lies in the south. You see eastern part of Kansas, Oklahoma, northern part of Texas, and then this this is Kansas, this is Oklahoma, this is northern part of Texas, and this is Arkansas. This is eastern Colorado, Kansas. This is Texas. This part is Texas. This is Arkansas. This is Kansas. This is eastern Colorado. This is the winter wheat belt of USA. Winter wheat belt, and this is the summer wheat belt. These belts are separated by Nebraska. Below Nebraska lies Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and eastern part of Colorado, and northern Texas. So these are the regions. Northern Texas, basically this northern part of Texas and Arkansas, here it slightly overlaps with cotton belt. Here cotton belt in northern part of Texas and southern Arkansas, cotton belt overlaps with wheat belt. So this is the winter wheat belt. Now corn belt of USA, very famous. This corn belt is very famous because here corn is grown for fattening animals. Corn belt accounts for 2/3 of the total pig population and 1/3 of the cattle population of USA. Here pigs are fed with milk and popcorns. जो हम लोग usually नाश्ते में लेते हैं milk and popcorns. It is a diet for pigs in USA. This corn belt accounts for bulk of the animals, 2/3 of the pigs and 1/3 of the cattle. This corn belt is spread over, it lies in between Nebraska, Illinois, this is Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. This corn belt is this. This is corn belt. Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. This is comprised of corn belt. It separates spring wheat belt from winter wheat belt. Now this corn belt is famous for animal feeding. Now the third very important agriculture belt is maize, wheat and tobacco belt. Maize, wheat and tobacco belt. This is corn belt, famous for fattening and slaughtering of animal. This belt that we are going to discuss is maize, wheat and tobacco belt. In west it is Missouri province, this is Kentucky province, this is West Virginia and East Virginia, and this is North Carolina. In West Virginia, East Virginia and Carolina, here tobacco production predominates. Tobacco. In Kentucky, it is just above Tennessee, Kentucky, wheat. And here in western part of this belt, maize cultivation, Missouri province. In Missouri province, maize cultivation. If you see this maize, wheat and tobacco belt, on one side of it lies the corn belt and region of mixed farming. This entire region of USA and Canada on either side of Great Lake region is famous for mixed farming. On one side like Ontario and Quebec, where this mixed farming is very important. On the other side, the Wisconsin, all these states, Michigan, on all these states, mixed farming is important. So this maize, wheat and tobacco belt. Maize, wheat and tobacco belt, this belt. Comprising of Missouri province, this is Kentucky, and this is West Virginia, this is East Virginia, North Carolina. This belt is bounded in north by corn belt in the west and mixed farming in the east. In the south, it is bounded by tobacco belt. Here, south of it lies the famous tobacco belt. Now, tobacco belt stretches along the southern part of USA. Traditional tobacco belt, where American upland, cotton belt. This is not tobacco, cotton. This is maize, wheat, tobacco. On north of it lies the corn belt and mixed farming region. South of it lies the cotton belt. Cotton requires 210 frost-free days. It requires arid climate and timely irrigation. So, south of this, if you see, south of this corn belt and winter wheat belt lies the cotton belt. If you see cotton belt away from the coast, slightly away from the coast, and this overlaps with tobacco belt, and this also slightly overlaps with winter wheat belt. Tobacco belt, the coastal regions are humid, so in coastal regions tobacco is not grown. Here this belt is slightly away from the coast, and it runs from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Albania, this is Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. Texas is the most important cotton producing state of USA. It alone accounts for 25% of total cotton production. This here in this belt comprises of these states. It is slightly away. In northern Texas and southern Arkansas, cotton belt overlaps with winter wheat belt. In the eastern side, North Virginia, this cotton belt overlaps with tobacco belt. In this region, you find upland American cotton. In this region, you find upland American cotton. The best quality cotton grows in the west. Now this belt is shifting towards west. Why? Because western arid regions are more conducive for the growth of cotton, and in western part irrigation has already been made possible. So the best quality Sea Island cotton, this is upland American cotton. The Sea Island cotton, which is of even better quality, it is grown in western arid regions like San Joaquin Valley. Sea Island cotton, it is grown in San Joaquin Valley, Imperial Valley. In San Joaquin Valley, cotton is grown with the help of irrigation provided by San Joaquin River. In Imperial Valley, it is grown with the help of irrigation provided by Colorado River. Then rest of the Arizona and New Mexico. These are the regions where upland American cotton is, where Sea Island cotton is grown, which is of much better quality. Its fibers are long. It is of high grade. It is because of arid climate and availability of irrigation. The best quality cotton in USA is found in the western part: San Joaquin Valley, Imperial Valley, Arizona, New Mexico. These are the 4 regions of USA where Sea Island cotton is grown. Now, after this, this is mixed farming region. Spring wheat belt, winter wheat belt, this corn belt, this is wheat, maize, wheat, tobacco belt, this is cotton belt. Then this is mixed farming region. In mixed farming region, as I discussed, what we see here, apart from crops, here wheat and maize in this mixed farming region of northern, on either side of Great Lake region, mixed farming is pursued. Wheat and maize, wheat and corn happen to the most important crop. Apart from crop, fruits, vegetables and dairy farming is equally important. In mixed farming region, apart from crops, livestock rearing is done for both meat and milk. Fruits are grown, vegetables are grown. So all these activities, crop cultivation, wheat and corn, livestock rearing for meat and milk, and fruits and vegetable cultivation are equally important on either side of Great Lake region where mixed farming is pursued. Now let us come on to the southernmost part, this region. This climate, this agriculture region is known as, this southern part, tropical humid agricultural region. This is known as tropical humid agricultural belt. Tropical humid agriculture belt along the coast of Gulf of Mexico. This spread over Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and this Florida. Florida is famous for fruits, lemons, grapes. Florida is famous for fruits and vegetables. Here in this part, rice happens to be the most important crop, especially in the coastal part and the delta of Mississippi. Rice is the most important crop. Second most important crop happens to be sugarcane in this region, in the coastal region. Now in the western arid region, here, previously it was a desert, California, Nevada, this New Mexico, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, this was a desert. Now with the help of irrigation, agriculture has not only been made possible, it is highly remunerative. Here basically grasses are found, natural vegetation are in the form of grass, and basically here with the help of irrigation, fruit farming, basically cotton cultivation, all this is being done. The river valleys, like I told you, Colorado, Sacramento, San Joaquin, they have been intensively tapped for irrigation. Now, so this was all about agriculture of USA. So in USA, I think it's over. Important manufacturing centers of USA. So what we discussed over here is, if there's any doubt, you can ask it. You need not remember each and everything. Roughly ऐसे कुछ name Nebraska का याद कर लिया. See, you must be slightly aware कि California USA के west में है कि east में है. इतना तो मालूम ही होना चाहिए. मतलब you must be aware about the basics. Nebraska separates winter and summer wheat belt. Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, corn belt, and then between corn belt and mixed farming region and cotton belt in south, there's maize, wheat, and tobacco belt in Illinois, in Missouri, maize in Missouri, wheat in Kentucky, and Virginia and North Carolina, tobacco in Virginia and North Carolina. So you must know the basics. Now, manufacturing centers. Industrial centers and important cities of USA. Now, if we talk about important cities, there are so many important cities that it becomes almost impossible to cover them all. USA is highly urbanized, highly industrialized. It's impossible to cover all the cities. We'll discuss only the most important ones, which are most well known. So, certain cities are important for basic industry like iron, steel, manufacturing. Some are important for shipbuilding. Others for oil refining. Automobile. And others. Numerous others, aircraft manufacturing and all. Apparel manufacturing, paper manufacturing. So let us start with the prominent ones, like major steel centers. Not now. There was a time when USA was the largest producer of steel, and it had numerous steel centers. And as I discussed, it is the availability of coal that determines the location of steel centers. And coal was found in the eastern part. Obviously, all the major steel centers of USA are located in the eastern part of USA. Now, if you see Pennsylvania, the largest center of steel was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was the largest steel center. To the southwest of Pittsburgh, here it was Wheeling. To the northwest, it was Youngstown, very famous. Along the coast of Erie Lake, Cleveland. South of Michigan, Gary. Near to it, north of it, Chicago. In Maryland province, where Washington DC is located, just north of Washington DC, there is a city, Baltimore. And in the south, I told you in Alabama, because of availability of both coal and iron ore, the second largest steel center of USA after Pittsburgh, known as Pittsburgh of South USA, Birmingham in Alabama. See, all these coincides with the coal belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight most important steel manufacturing centers of USA. Now, shipbuilding. When I discussed this Columbia River, I told you it flows like this, forms the border of Washington and Oregon, moves north and falls into Atlantic Sea by way of Cape Disappointment. Here there is a city, Portland in Oregon, on this river. Portland, one of the largest shipbuilding center of USA. And along the coast of Texas, Houston. I discussed yesterday, Houston is a major cotton exporting port. Now this shipbuilding activity is dominating the landscape. Houston, very important for oil refining as well as shipbuilding. These two are the major shipbuilding centers. Houston and Portland. These are shipbuilding centers. If you talk about this automobile, then undoubtedly just south of Huron Lake is not drawn over here, just south of Huron Lake here, there's a place, Detroit. In fact, the scale at which the automobiles were manufactured in Detroit is unparalleled. Such large was the scale of automobile manufacture that numerous other cities came into existence as supplementary to provide the spare parts, like Flint, Pontiac, Toledo, Akron. They all came into existence to supply various parts of the car. Detroit was such a large automobile hub that near it Flint bonnet, Pontiac used to manufacture steering, Flint used to manufacture bonnet. And you see here there's a place, Akron used to manufacture, it was one of the largest synthetic rubber motor tire. It used to manufacture synthetic rubber and motor tire for cars. And then there close to it there's a place, Toledo, कार के शीशे बनाता था, glass industry. They were the largest, Toledo was the largest glass, even larger than St. Helens of UK. Glass industry, car, especially for automobiles. Akron, huge city. It used to manufacture basically this synthetic rubber and tire for automobiles. So you can well imagine the scale at which the work would have been going on in Detroit. Detroit was such a large automobile manufacturing centers that number of other cities cropped up to provide supplementary activities. Now, oil refining. Now, oil refining is important. There's a place, Denver in Colorado. It is famous for oil refining. Then here, Houston is also famous for oil refining. And then in Louisiana, there's a place, city, Baton Rouge, famous for oil refining. And in the Delta of Mississippi, there's a city, New Orleans, again famous for oil refining. So Denver, Houston, Baton Rouge, New Orleans were famous for oil refining. Aircraft manufacture. I'm rubbing this all. Aircraft. See, there are twin cities near Dallas. There's a city, Fort Worth, important for aircraft manufacture. Then in Connecticut, there's a city, Hartford, famous for aircraft manufacture. In Arizona, Phoenix, famous for aircraft manufacture. And around Puget Sound Bay, there's a place, Seattle, Boeing aircraft company is there. Seattle is also the headquarter of Microsoft, very famous for aircraft manufacture. जिसको भी Boeing aircraft खरीदना होता है, he has to go to Seattle. Other important cities are also there: Tacoma, Olympia, on this Puget Sound. Tacoma, Olympia. These are famous for lumbering because Washington and Oregon happen to be the largest producer of, the sole producer of Douglas fir trees, which are used for paper. Now, apart from this, there are other important cities also, like on Hudson River. This is Hudson, this is Mo. This is Hudson River. This is Mo River. There's a place, Albany. Albany, famous for paper industry. It is famous for paper industry. Now, the largest city of USA, New York. It is the largest city of USA. It is the largest port of USA. It is the busiest port of USA. On the western coast, the largest port is San Francisco. San Francisco, popularly known as City of Golden Gate, because for 1 mile the coastal range is broken, and Sacramento coming from north and San Joaquin coming from south, they meet and fall into the Atlantic Ocean, fall into the Pacific Ocean by way of Golden Gate. Here the city is San Francisco, the largest port on the western coast. The largest naval port is San Diego. And this is Los Angeles. Second largest city of USA, famous for Hollywood. Los Angeles happened to be the second largest city. New York is the largest. It is the largest port. And New York is famous for multiple industries, not for a single industry. New York is famous for multiple industries. It is popularly known as City of Skyscrapers. City of Skyscraper, high-rise buildings. Now, this Chicago happens to be the third largest city. Chicago, famous for steel as well as meat packing. It is the USA's center where all roads and railways converge. All roads and railways converge at Chicago. It is the third largest city. It is the hub of transport. All road and railway network of USA converge at Chicago. Now, other important cities, you can say other cities like number of cities are there, unlimited. This much is sufficient. बहुत सारे शहर which are very famous for one thing or the other, but these are sufficient because so many of them you cannot remember everything. So now this I think this North America is over, this USA is over. Anything remaining? If anything is remaining, I'll see it. Now most of USA is over. We have discussed the agriculture today, remaining mining regions, and this industrial cities. Now let us come on to Middle America. Middle America. Open the map of Middle America in your atlas. That is Mexico, 7 Central American countries and Caribbean islands. So open the map of Middle America. Middle America. This is Central America. हाँ मेक्सिको है. Very good. Your knowledge about geography is improving, eh? So next is Middle America. If you see Middle America, as we have discussed, Middle America comprises of Mexico, seven Central American countries: Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, and Caribbean islands, that is Greater Antilles and Less Antilles. Now, if you see, open the both physical and political map of Mexico. In Middle America, I must tell you, Middle America is marked by poverty, socio-economic disparity, ethnic differences, and political instability and ecological degradation. Hallmark of Middle America: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember these 5 points. You can write any number of pages on Middle America. Poverty, socio-economic disparity, ethnic differences, political instability, ecological degeneration. During the last 50 years, 80% of the forest of Central America has been destroyed. Ecological degeneration. So these are the hallmarks of Central America and Middle America. Now, let us start with Mexico. I told you the same western mountain system continues southward. And this is a part of Mexico known as Lower California or California Peninsula. This is Gulf of California, this water body. And this is the Mexico mainland. Mexico mainland comprises of broad high plateau. Broad high plateau. It is a broad high plateau. It is an extension of same western mountain system coming from north. This same western mountain system coming from USA continues. It continues in the middle part of Central America also. Here it narrows down. Mexico is a broad high plateau bounded on eastern side. This eastern edge is known as Sierra Madera Oriental, and the western edge of this plateau is known as Sierra Madera Occidental. Oriental means east, Occidental means west. So here in the southern part, you will see Zapisto movement is going on. Zapisto rebels. They are indigenous people of Mexico, just like Naxalites in India. They have taken up arms against the state, just like Naxalites of India. They can be termed as insurgents, Zapistos. They are against the state government, just like Naxalite. The Naxalites are the indigenous people. They are those who have taken up arms. They are misguided. The region is underdeveloped. They have been exploited. Same way Zapistos. These people who are of the country, who are not satisfied with the current state of affairs and pick up arms against the government. They are insurgents. Insurgents and terrorists are different. Terrorists may be foreign infiltrates also, but insurgents. So here Zapisto movement is going on in southern part, and in southern part they have occupied a large area of Mexico. Large area they have occupied. Lower California as such, this is mountainous and desert. Nothing grows over here. It is agriculturally useless. It is mountainous and dry. The low-lying area, this is known as Yucatan Peninsula. It is known as Yucatan Peninsula. It is lowland. Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico is a lowland, and it is the world's largest producer of sisal hemp. It is a plant from leaves of which it is sword-like leaves. तलवार जैसी पत्ती होती हैं लंबी लंबी इसकी. It has sword-like leaves from which fiber is extracted for making ropes and other products. Just like jute in India, sisal hemp is just like jute, from which the fiber is obtained. It is very strong, and it is used to make ropes and other products. Sisal hemp, it is just like jute, but it is found largest. The Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico is the largest producer of sisal hemp. Now, when we come to the mainland, yes, no doubt, Mexico is the world's largest producer of silver. In the northern part, we have this largest silver mine, Chihuahua, largest silver mine found in the northern part of Mexico. Now, these east coastal plains and west coastal plain, they are warm and humid. They are warm and humid, and these are known for the production of cane sugar, that is sugar cane, vanilla, rubber, and tobacco. These four are the chief products on the eastern and western coastal plain, which are warm and humid. This warm and humid climate is found on the coastal plains of Mexico, east and west coastal plain. Along the edges of the plateau, that is slopes. If you talk about slopes, the slopes, this is the plateau, this is the east coastal plain, this is west coastal plain. Along the, this is the plateau, broad high plateau. The slopes of the plateau, matlab edges, are cool and humid. Here coffee and maize are grown. Maize is the staple food of Mexico. It is the staple food of Mexico. Along the edges of the plateau, they are cool and humid. Here coffee and maize happen to be the chief agricultural product. Maize is the staple food. The top of this plateau is warm and dry. High annual and seasonal range of temperature. It is dry. Sheep and cattle are found to be rearing on the grasses. Wherever irrigation has been made possible, this plateau is warm and dry. This plateau. Here basically the grasses are found. Sheep and cattle are found to be rearing on those grass. But wherever irrigation has been made possible, there we grow wheat, maize, and cotton. Wherever irrigation is made possible, there wheat, maize, and cotton happen to be the most important crop on the plateau. So east and west coastal plain, the edges of the plateau and the top of the plateau. This is all about agriculture. And I discussed this coastal plain, Gulf Coast is very famous for, see, while I was discussing this Florida Peninsula, this is Yucatan Peninsula. You see, this is Florida, this is Gulf of Mexico. This is the coastal region, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and you continue southward. It is girdled by oil fields. It is surrounded by oil fields. In Mexico also, you can see this Tampico. South of this is Tuxpan, and then here is Veracruz, are important oil fields. And this Mexico happens to be the very important producer of oil in the world. Mexico is one of the major producers of oil in the world, and the three main oil fields are found along the Gulf Coast: Tampico, Tuxpan, and Veracruz. are the three important oil fields. Now, this is all about Mexico. In Central America, there is not much. कहाँ गया? Central America. Here. Central America. I told you, huge political instability. USA is not, the Cold War politics resulted this is the result of Cold War politics between Soviet Union and USA. Now what we see, this is the Nicaragua happens to be the largest country of Central America, sparsely populated. Here Marxist or communist government has been established, backed by Soviet and Cuba. Marxist government. This government is known as Contras. Nicaragua has communist regime, Marxist regime. It has government, Marxist government that is backed by Soviet Union, that was backed by Soviet Union and Cuba. And during Cold War, USA and Soviet Union were against each other. USA's during Cold War, sole objective of USA was to control the expansion of communism, to confine communism. NATO, CENTO, CETO, UNSUS, all these were alliances formed by USA to confine communism. Now Nicaragua has Contras government, that is Marxist government, communist government, backed by Cuba and Soviet Union. USA has been conducting guerrilla activities, warfare against the government. Against this Marxist government, USA has been instigating guerrilla activity. So USA has been instigating guerrilla warfare against this communist regime. And in Honduras, which is the poorest country of this region, poorest, खाने को रोटी नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. There is no socio-economic or ethnic disparity in Honduras. Why? All are poor. All are very poor. So therefore, there is no socio-economic and ethnic disparity. Honduras is having American-backed military ruler. USA-backed military rule. And US has instigated this military rule to have huge military build-up along the border of Nicaragua. Honduras has its own differences with Nicaragua. That is one thing, that India and Pakistan are having their own differences. But if someone instigates, suppose America used to instigate Pakistan by supplying arms and all, it used to infiltrate terrorists inside into a border. So this Honduras has its own differences. But this US-based military ruler, USA has been instigating, has been assisting the military build-up along the border. And this Nicaragua is also conducting guerrilla activities in El Salvador to topple the government. Nicaragua, basically, Nicaragua is instigating separatists of El Salvador to topple the government. And Nicaragua and Honduras also have their own differences. They are not on talking terms, they have hostile relations. So what we see, then come to Guatemala. Here what we see, Guatemala, again here also US backed military rule is there. Guatemala, here also you have United States supported military rule. US supported military rule, and guerrilla activity is continuing against this military rule. So what we see, this entire part of Central America is marked by disturbance, apart from Costa Rica and Panama. So Guatemala has military-backed rulers supported by this USA, and there's hostile relations between each of these countries. None of them are at talking terms. All are hostile against each other. All are fighting against each other. The only exception is Costa Rica, known as Switzerland of Central America. Costa Rica is one of the oldest democracy. It is no standing military. It is agriculturally, technologically very advanced, 100% literacy rate, skilled manpower, high standard of living, and basically Costa Rica is so advanced that it is researching on nuclear energy to increase the efficiency and productivity of crops, fruits and vegetables. It is agrarian country, but here agriculture is a profession. Population is highly skilled, highly technologically advanced country. No differences with any other country. Very old democracy, 100% literacy, complete peace and calm, highly advanced. It is different. It is not Switzerland of Central America. In fact, any country can give a match to Israel in terms of technology, agriculture technology. It's Costa Rica. The Costa Ricans are far ahead. This is the only country which can match with Israel in terms of technology, agriculture technology. And World Planet Happy Index rated Costa Rica first. Happy Index, the Happy Planet Index rated Costa Rica first for its eco-friendly practices. It is the world's largest producer of pineapple. Chota sa country hai. It produces world's largest amount of pineapples. Fruits, vegetables, crops, it's highly vertical gardens were the concept introduced over here. Basically, Costa Rica hai chota sa, but its technology in agriculture is very advanced. Now, what we say, it is also exploring nuclear technology to enhance the productivity, yield and efficiency of agriculture, these crops, fruits and vegetable. It is completely a different level as compared to these countries. And Panama, previously it was part of Colombia, later it got separated. There's a Panama Canal, which is the sole basis of earning of Panama. In all these Middle American countries, the common thing is production of coffee, cotton, and sugar cane. These are the three products which are produced by these countries that are exported, that are the basis of the economy. Just Guatemala has vast nickel deposits in the southern part and oil deposits in the northern part. And El Salvador is one of the world's largest producer of medicinal gum. Otherwise, all these countries are engaged in the export of coffee, cotton and sugarcane. That is the only commodity they possess. So this was about Middle America, Central America. Now we'll move on to South America. And in South America, first we'll discuss the countries, then we'll discuss the topography and then various regions. In South America, 13 countries are there: Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, Paraguay and Bolivia are the two landlocked countries, and then Ecuador and Colombia. Now, if you see the physiography of South America, there are three highlands: Andes in the west, Guiana Highlands in the north, and Brazilian Highlands in the east. There are three highlands: Andes, Guiana and Brazilian Highlands. And Andes mountain range is unique because it is the world's longest mountain chain, most continuous mountain chain. It does not have passes. There is only one pass. It is divided into 2 or 3 ranges in the north. This is Cordillera Oriental and this is Cordillera Occidental. And from where Magdalena River is flowing. Magdalena River I will discuss, it's very important. 90% of total hydroelectric production of Colombia is accounted by Magdalena River. Magdalena River flows from these Andes mountain towards north. These mountains run for 7,000 kilometers through 7 countries: Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Argentina, Chile, Bolivia. In Bolivia, this mountain becomes broad and encloses a plateau. In Andes, such intermontane plateaus are known as altiplanos. Right? Now, in the southern part of Andes, there is a gap or pass that connects the capital of Argentina with Valparaiso. Valparaiso is the largest wine-making settlement in southern hemisphere. There is a railway line passing through this pass. that connects Buenos Aires. There is only one trans-Andean railway line connecting Buenos Aires to Valparaiso. It is located west of Santiago, that is capital of Chile. This Valparaiso is the terminus. It is the largest winemaking settlement of the hemisphere. And this pass is known this pass in Andes is known as Uspallata Pass. It is located close to Mendoza city in Argentina. This is a Mendoza city. This pass is located here. Otherwise, there is no break. And this Andes continues in Tierra del Fuego Island also. Andes mountain range. Now, llamas are found over here. We'll discuss on Andes. Second is Guiana Highlands spread over Venezuela to the south and east of Orinoco River. Venezuela, Guiana, Suriname and French Guiana. And these Brazilian highland eastern part of Brazil. Now let me describe you in sequence what all geographic regions are found in South America. If you see north, in north there is a river known as Orinoco. This river is known as Orinoco River. Its basin mostly lies in Venezuela, but some part also lies in the southern part, tributaries also lies in Colombia. Now this Orinoco basin is covered with tropical grasslands. Its basin is covered with tropical grassland. Grasses are there, and this tropical grassland that is spread over the Orinoco basin is known as llanos. Llanos is the name given to this tropical grassland. Like temperate grasslands are known differently, like in USA and Canada they are known as prairies, in Eurasia they are known as steppes, in Argentina and Uruguay they are known as pampas, in Australia they are known as downs, in New Zealand they are known as Canterbury Plains. So these temperate grasslands are known variously. Likewise, the tropical grasslands spread over the Orinoco basin, they are known as llanos. Now, these llanos, tropical grasslands, these grasses are not nutritious, they are not rich. So these llanos are mostly, here you find beef cattle. Llanos, you find beef cattle. This Orinoco basin is also important because in the northern part of Orinoco basin lies the largest oil reserves of world. That is 20% oil reserves are found in Orinoco basin in northern part. Bamako, all these oil fields are there, but the quality of oil is not very good. Although it has largest oil reserves, but the quality of oil is not very good. In northern part of Orinoco basin, you have 20% of the oil reserves. Now, to the north of this, there is a lake Maracaibo. There is a lake Maracaibo. If you see in your atlas, you will find Lake Maracaibo. It is a lagoon. It is also having huge oil reserves. Now, there is a tributary flowing coming from south that meets Orinoco. That is Coroni River. It is a tributary of Orinoco River. It is a tributary of Orinoco River. It has the world's highest waterfall, Angel Falls. So what we see in the northern part, here we have tropical grassland known as llanos, which are spread over Orinoco basin. Further south, this Guinea Highlands are there, and then we encounter Amazon River, Amazon basin. Amazon River is the world's second longest river and world's largest river in terms of volume. This river alone carries 20% of the total water of all the rivers. Amazon basin. Amazon basin. Here, in this Amazon basin, equatorial rainforest or tropical evergreen rainforest are found, which are known as selvas. In Amazon basin, basically it rains very heavily. It is having tropical evergreen rainforest, and these forests dotted in this basin are known as selvas. They are known for their density. Basically, they are known as lungs of the world because the number of trees is very high. They release oxygen. Now, here that 5-layered canopy is there. So at the surface it's completely dark, and it rains 2 to 4 p.m. daily. Here trees, here this is also surfaces this infested with poisonous insects and snakes. Anaconda is also found here. This river is navigable up to Manaus by ocean going ships. जो ocean जाती हैं, they can navigate up to Manaus, and further the steamers can navigate up to here in this Peru, Iquitos. Steamers can navigate up to Iquitos in Peru. So this river is navigable. This happens to be the highway in the Amazon forest. These forests are very dense. It's almost impossible to walk on land because of insects and snakes, and moreover dense canopy of dense trees which are bounded by climbers and creepers. So they become almost impenetrable. Frequent fires during recent years have been the issue in this forest, man-made fires and natural fires. Now here you find mahogany tree, the world's heaviest wood, and also here you find world's lightest wood, balsa. The density of forest is so small that all animals are very small. Even elephants are just 1 meter high. It is the density of forest. Pygmies, small human beings are found over here. Pygmies living on trees. So this is covered with tropical wet evergreen forest. Now it has been fixed. Am I audible now, Rachna? I have repeated the part. Now, further south in Brazil, south of this Amazon basin, there is a Mato Grosso plateau. This Mato Grosso plateau is again dotted with tropical grasslands. South of this is Mato Grosso plateau, which again is dotted with tropical grassland. So tropical grasslands are found on both sides of Amazon basin. Here this tropical grassland is known as campos. It is known as campos. This tropical grassland has been named as campos. Now this is the region, this is Brazilian highlands. Here Brazilian highlands in northern part of Brazil. Here basically vegetation has been removed to give way to fazendas, that is coffee plantation or cotton plantation, sugar cane plantation in north. So crops are grown over here. Natural vegetation has been removed. South of Mato Grosso you find Gran Chao. This is Gran Chao. Gran Chao. This is Gran Chao. This southern part of it lies in Argentina and its northern part lies in Paraguay and Bolivia. Gran Chao is a semi-arid region, but in the eastern part it is swampy also. In the eastern part it is swampy. Although overall it is semi-arid region, Gran Chao derives its word, it is a hunting land, land of hunting. It is semi-arid region, eastern part is swampy, and here basically trees and shrubs are found. Some trees and shrubs are very important. Gran Chao spreads over, this is a hunting ground, bushes and trees. Southern part is in Argentina, northern part in Paraguay and Bolivia. It is hunting ground. Here two very important trees are found. One is yerba mate and second is quebracho. Yerba mate is found in Paraguay. It is used to make tea. So it is known as Paraguayan tea. Paraguayan tea. Quebracho known as axe breaker. It yields tannic. This quebracho is known as, it means axe breaker. Quebracho yields tannic acid. Further south, here you have pampas, that is temperate grassland. Pampas. Pampas is the name given to temperate grassland in South America. The temperate grassland of South America are slightly different from the temperate grasslands of North America because prairies and steppes of North America and Eurasia respectively, they are having continental location, whereas temperate grasslands of South America or Australia are located on the eastern side. So they are more maritime. The temperate grasslands of southern part are not so dry. Pampas, these are nutritious grasses. The pampas of Argentina and Uruguay, this is Uruguay. These are famous for basically sheep rearing, cattle rearing, wheat cultivation, maize cultivation. We'll discuss in detail. The crescent joining Bahia Blanca to this Buenos Aires, this is wheat crescent. Then we'll discuss there's a place Santa Fe, below that Rosario is there. Rosario is surrounded by maize cultivation. We'll discuss all these things. In general, pampas are devoted for agriculture. Pamparo wind blows over here. Pamparo. On pampas, Pamparo wind blows over here, which causes rainfall with thunder and lightning in Argentina and Uruguay. Here a flightless bird, Rhea, is found. Rhea, a flightless bird. In Uruguay, pampas are devoted to sheep rearing, both for mutton and wool. But in Argentina, pampas are mostly devoted to wheat cultivation, maize cultivation, and cattle rearing. In Argentina, sheep are reared to the south of pampas in Patagonia desert. In Argentina, it is Patagonia desert to the south of pampas, which is devoted to sheep rearing. See, now sheeps are of various types. In Australia, sheep are mostly reared for wool, merino sheep. So Australia is the wool port of the world. And here in Argentina and Uruguay, sheep are reared both for wool and meat, but mutton is more important. So Argentina and Uruguay happens to be the largest exporter of mutton. Now in the south, Patagonia desert is there. It is a desert. Why? Because it lies on the leeward side of Andes mountain. So westerlies cannot cause rainfall. Central part of Chile is having Mediterranean climate and the northern part is having desert. Here it is Mediterranean climate, northern part of Chile.